Well, I wonder what gets your attention as you read this famous story of Jesus and his friends. Wonder what you're noticing. Wonder what God might be saying to you. So I read it. I noticed 3 things about Jesus and 1 about his followers. Let me share them with you. Jesus waits. Jesus doesn't rush into this situation. He doesn't drop everything and run off. He considers, he prays, he waits. So he's able to say to his disciples, this situation's not going to end in death, but it's going to end in God's glory. Jesus knows that in times of crisis, the best thing to do is to start with prayer and paying attention to what God might be saying and God might be doing. Jesus waits. But then he does travel to Bethany at great risk to himself because of the political climate and danger around. And he gets there and he takes the disappointment and frustration of the sisters that he wasn't there earlier. And he's allowing himself to enter into the situation, and he's taken to the graveside and he sees the grief and he weeps. Jesus weeps for the death of his friend. He weeps for the grief of his friends around him. He weeps for the destruction caused by sickness. I find it incredibly comforting, encouraging, and challenging that Jesus weeps. He's not a distant, far off God, so powerful he's untouched by our difficulties. He's with us in the day-to-day, and alongside us in our mourning, he grieves. I find that a challenge too, because so often my response is to try and fix, to try and sort, to try and organise, to try and make things better. And in Jesus I see one who first takes time to weep. Jesus waits and Jesus weeps, but then Jesus transforms. His words to the sisters, I am the resurrection and the life, allow their faith and hope to be stirred, and are then backed up by this incredible miracle where Jesus stands at the graveside, open despite the protest of those around, and shouts out, Lazarus, come out. And the dead man walks out of the tomb. In raising Lazarus, Jesus gives a little picture of what is going to happen in a few days or weeks at his own death, where he will, on behalf of all, take all of the evil of the world, allow it into him, die, and then beat that. And so what we see in a small scale with Lazarus, with one person, Jesus does for all people at Easter. Because with Jesus, the hope that Christians have is that death is not the end, that suffering isn't the final word, that those who trust in Jesus know with Jesus the hope of resurrection. I am the resurrection and the life, says Jesus. Jesus waits, Jesus weeps, and Jesus transforms. I wonder where we need him to do those things in our situations today. And then one word about his followers. Jesus' friends, his disciples, what are they doing? Well, they're with him. They go. I love Thomas's words in this reading. Let's go and die with him. Jesus' followers stick with Jesus. And so they travel with him to Bethany and they weep alongside him. And they witness with him God bringing this tremendous change. I think there's much for us to notice in that, in our current situation. Those who follow Jesus, those who trust him, go with him in their lives. So what might Jesus be doing if Jesus was in your life? Who might he be calling? Who might he be sending messages to? How might he be loving and caring for those around him? How might he do your key job? Or look after your family at home? How might he respond? These are tricky, open questions. There's no definite, neat answers, but they're worth thinking over. Because Jesus' followers go with Jesus. And so, at this point in our lives, as we face all the challenges and opportunities in front of us, I want to encourage you with two things. The first is put your trust in Jesus, the resurrection and the life. And the second is go with him. Think through, pray through, ask yourself, what might Jesus do? And go with him to friends, family members, neighbours, in safe ways, within the boundaries of isolation and social distancing that we have. Be with others. Be present on the phone. Be close to those around you. Let's pray together. Jesus, thank you that you, the one who is with us, and you lead us, and you transform situations, and we turn to you and ask for your strength to be with you in our day-to-day right now. Amen.